So I get a request to show Lubuntu running on the Powerbook G4, and I found that a good idea because there are not a lot of videos that actually tell you what the hell you have to do if it doesn't work out of the box, or they just show a booted up live CD and say that it is. So I decided, well, I'll do that video and maybe some of you guys will find it useful. Now, to start this off, this is a 2004 or 5 Powerbook G4. It's got a 1.5 gigahertz processor. Single core, unfortunately, as you know, a gigabyte of RAM, and a graphics card with only 64 megs of RAM, and that isn't so much of a beastly system. So you will have to do, if you want to install it on a system like that, you will definitely have to install a different interface like Lubuntu or Xubuntu, or I don't know about KDE, but just more lightweight stuff than Unity. Unity is just too much for it. Maybe it's the missing RAM, maybe it's the lacking graphics power. I don't know for sure, but it's just slow as heck and pretty much unusable for a lot of stuff. So I installed Lubuntu, and I know Lubuntu. I know the LXD desktop very well, and that works really nicely on here. It doesn't have, compositing by default, I believe, and so on. It's really lightweight, and that it runs good on these low-end graphics. Now, a thing that you will probably have to head to when you install it is this website. It's called wiki.ubuntu.com/PowerPCFAQ. That's frequently asked questions about Linux on PowerPCs and how it can get problems solved, and that was pretty much useful to me. Now, when I booted this up first, there experienced me a couple of issues. First of all, there was no sound, there was no wireless. What was else? There was, let's think, sound, wireless. Oh yeah, no working battery indicator, and no working function media keys. Not at all worked. There was like nothing. So, oh yeah, the line-in was also not working. So these are the main problems I experienced. There still are a couple of problems, but you can still, this is now the state where you actually can use it, as a computer working. So the sound problem I fixed. That was pretty much the easiest. I Googled and I came across a post where is it? Someone told someone, I don't know, it was in a forum, that you have to install Geno ALSA mixer. I don't know what the hell that means. I'm no audio guy. And check if this is muted. And in my case, that was. I don't know what that is. PC master volume. I don't know. I'm no audio guy. I have no clue what all of that means except master and bass, to be honest. So, you set that to 80% or give it a reboot if it doesn't do that anyway, and then it should work. And in my case, it worked like that, like a charm. So to prove you that, I have here music, and I hopefully have somewhere here copyright free. I believe that is not so copyright intense. And there you have it here playing. And for all of you guys that only care about the song, here it is. So as you can see, it works like it should. And that is the master volume. That is almost out. And here you go. That's too much there. But as you can hear, the speakers, they just sound as good as they are on OS X. And you definitely don't want to miss them. Now, if you're asking why only setting this here to 80%, well, if you overdo it, it's just going to get too much bass, and it's just going to sound very crappy and ugh. And you don't want that. So 80% is good. Now the second thing about audio is the line-in. The line-in is also easy to fix, and that is unmuting this monitor. And when you have set this again to about 80%, you will have line-in audio. So there's no driver issue in my case. It's just the line-in that was not working. Now I'm not sure if I have somewhere here the system preferences. No, it doesn't look like that, but we got here a system profiler. I like that more anyway. So you can have here a little summary, and thankfully it is recognizing almost all of this stuff. You can see audio adapter, Apple onboard audio, sound by layout, whatever that means, probably the driver developer, I don't know. Here we have the operating system, Ubuntu 12.04.5, so the long-term support, and so on. So everything, if you have any not working thing, you'll probably most find it here, and it will just show a weird thing or just nothing at all. So now the second thing, that was wireless, and that was a little more tricky, but still pretty damn easy to fix, if you find it, of course. So in my case, there was just no wireless, and that is it. So then I found this great post, and the guy here, Brome, thank you a lot. Now you get a shout out in YouTube anyway. Told me to do this, and you type that in the terminal, and it will install the package. Well, that you have to download first, and it's called B43FW Cutter 015 14 PowerPC.dat whatever. That is the driver for the wireless on the Powerbook G4s. Now, I do not know if that is for sure on all Powerbooks, but at least the G4 15 inches are those. I have no clue about other ones, so I don't know. Probably just the overall Apple Airport Extreme cards, but yeah, there you go. That is the driver. Now, if it magically works itself, just leave it and be happy. So don't screw around. You know, that's an important thing of the system, so you want that to have working. And the last thing that was not working is pretty bad as well, and that's just no battery indicator for some reason. And that is also not hard to solve, but it's the trickiest. But I have to see. Drivers in hardware, where is it? Somewhere here. I believe on troubleshooting. Why do I have no sound? Why is my caps lock light not on? Yeah, that wasn't probably my case, but oh gosh, where is it? Come on. Not here. Of course I do not find it. You know, of course, when I make a video, I do not find it. Come on. Maybe I'll find it here. No, doesn't look like that. Doesn't look like that. Whatever. I'll find it and post it in the description. But it's a little work on the terminal, and after a reboot, you will have that damn icon that is pretty damn important if you have a laptop, you know, because you want to know how much damn batteries you have to work. So I found that important. Now the rest of the system just worked fine. It had no problems. The Ethernet worked, the USB worked, even the expansion card slot worked, the DVI out works, the FireWire works, even the S-Video works, but it's got some problems doing, you know, a second screen, but who the hell uses S-Video for that anyway? What do we have else? Audio works both, as I said. Oh, sorry about that. And yeah, that's about it. So most of the stuff works out of the box. Also Bluetooth, but I've personally no use for Bluetooth on this system on Linux. So yeah, but if you want to have a Bluetooth keyboard or something like this, that will work, at least in my case. Now all the driver bullshit out of the way, we'll go into software. That's why what I actually install it for, you know, for software, because on OS X it is just so damn lame when it comes to software. Now I can still do the same as on OS X, for example Audacity, that is to record stuff, and the latest version still runs on it. Yeah, double clicked it twice. Here we go, and you will have the working driver again here. Default line in, default microphone, and that is actually a good way to check if the line-in works, other than fooling around in the preferences. And yeah, you can do that. Now, also word processing, but I kind of find it a little shit that only version 3 is the latest one. At least what I found online, the latest version does work because it's Intel only. It just shows that it's a wrong architecture. And it doesn't go past 3. Now, I'm not a big fan of the 3. I like the 4 more because it's having more built-in stuff that, you know, it's compatible with other documents types and stuff. And it's also way more stable, and I just don't like the 3 as much as the 4, but yeah, that's a thing, a price I have to pay. It's not so bad because I don't use that for anything, but if if you're a user of this, like I am, I'm a big user of LibreOffice. I use it as my main office suite, so I really find it that a little bad. 3.5.7.2. It's the latest on the repositories, at least. Now you can still do, of course, almost everything, word processing, spreadsheets, presentations, databases, and so on. Now, the VLC, I definitely recommend installing this. It won't play 720p, I tell that right away, guys, but it helps playing 480 or, well, lower. But 720p, doesn't work on here. It's just too slow. Now, the most exciting thing I found is that you can get, where is it, the latest NetBeans working. That is 8.0.2. I don't even have that on my main machine. I don't have 8.0.1. That is support, guys. Because on a PowerPC running Leopard, you will only get up to version 6.9, which is old. But it's just slow as heck because the Java is just terrible. But yeah, anyway, there you go. 8.0.2 booting up. It's more than useless on this system because it's just slow. But I just want to showcase that because, that's like a thing. There you go, Apple. You can still run latest software on your old computers. Now, while this is loading up, we'll try launching other stuff. Of course, mostly all Linux software works that are in the software center. Almost everything works there perfectly on my hardware, except maybe games. OpenTDD doesn't so great. SuperText works. The NES emulator works. And I also got here Transmission, which is a torrent downloader. Oh, we can't see crap. Thunderbird is email that also works. And there you will still get the latest versions of Thunderbird and Firefox. Firefox is the latest version on OS X version 3, which is ridiculous. 3. That is like really old. Now we have 33. It's like so much behind. And on Linux, well, you will have no Flash, of course, and but you will have the latest version, and that's what we all want. I, at least. So if you want browser up-to-dateness, if that makes any sense, you need to go to Linux, because you will not get a different version in OS X. It just doesn't go past. But you can still get 10 Firefox in OS X. It's almost the same as this, but not quite the same. It's almost the same. So here you have it, Firefox 33. Isn't that awesome? And it's still running on that old PowerBook. Here we go. It finally booted up NetBeans. Now this is rather useless to me because I could sync it with a FTP if I really had that patience. As you can see, it's really slow. But since I can't get an XAMPP working, which I usually work with, it's more than useless, and as you can see, it's really terribly slow. But again, it's just to showcase that it's still working. And if you have, a decent, like a PowerMac G5 Quad or Dual, or just the PowerMac G4 Dual, this will just work fine. It won't work fast, but it will just work great to work with. Not like on here, it's like you have to wait forever just to load a damn file where nothing is inside. But yeah, there you go, guys. NetBeans 8.0.2 running on this Powerbook G4. That is great. I like that. Now the media keys. I forgot that the media keys, all of them here. Screen brightness, sound. Keyboard brightness still doesn't work, but these two, brightness, sound, and number, that works. But it worked with just updating the Ubuntu software, and that is it. Now I will close out of this because this is just keeping it so down. Yep, I locked up. Great, awesome. System manager, whatever, task manager, where is it? There you go. CPU 99% exhausted, yeah. We can hear that with the fans. I just installed that before, so I actually noticed a post on this PowerPC page, how to get fast at Java. I will definitely look into that because this is just crazy. This is just gone. Background scanning still. Whatever. There, it loaded it for quick time because I already pressed exit. Here you go. Now, as you can see, this isn't a fast machine. This is actually a pretty slow computer, but you know, what do you want? This is more than 10 years old by now, so, or yeah, 10 years. So this is a 10-year-old computer. What do you want? It's still running up-to-date software. No, yeah, that's all I want to show you actually. Driver-wise, it's just a lot of work, but once you get there, it's worth it and you will work. And software-wise, you won't have that trouble always looking up PowerPC because most of this stuff, at least what is in the software center, and there is a lot of stuff, all of that will just work fine. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. If you have any questions, post it in the description. But I'll say thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.